Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and I've been watching a little bit more of this Digital Foundry um, video that they put up, talking about like DLSS and stuff. But I want you guys to watch this part with me, and I'm gonna point some stuff out that I get what they're saying about this technology, but in the other but I'll make my point here in a minute. So this section that we're going to watch is, will Nvidia still focus on performance without DLSS? There is some interesting stuff in here that I want to touch on. So we're going to go ahead and play
Fix
that.
a lot of those, also the other side of the spectrum problems that we had, like with this deep
And I
enclosed
want you guys
locations with
to
a smaller areas that just let the light go in. Yeah, so overall it feels sharper, better. Characters feel finally, yeah, like they're rendered. So that was a big thing and very important element for us.
Of course. Why wouldn't there be?
I'd like to talk. This is more like a philosophical question, I would guess, insights on technology. But like in the future, is DLSS scalable technology the main focus we can expect on future card performance analysis? Like when we see Nvidia announcing a new GPU and doing performance comparisons, we most of the time see it using DLSS or comparing DLSS to not DLSS. But like, is there any significant improvements? I don't want to call it brute force, but that can help solidify 4K native performance without the use of DLSS for people who do not want or cannot use DLSS for a specific application? Or is this something that will go hand in hand in the future and it's inevitable and not necessarily bad either?
I think we kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but it's all about being smarter, right? And it's not just one or the other. For now and for the future, you will see both. You will see AI continue to get better, more features, more performance improvements there, and you'll see hardware continue to get better. So when you combine the two there, then obviously you have the best experience.
I guess this is in a way when we going back to the original question or the first question about being used as a possible crutch, and I did love the way that you put it. Like these are tools, and everything. It's like a catch-22. Like if we look at things in the right perspective, anything can be used as a way to ease your work and improve your workflow. And
Yeah.
in this case, I would guess like technology is always a positive crutch in the way that it helps us do our job better. Some people will use the tools better than others, of course. This happens in every setting, every industry. I guess it's exciting to see where things are leading us to.
And I think Jakob kind of answered that well. I mean, there's lots of quote unquote optimizations that you could do to games that you could say are you being used as a crutch to instead of actually optimizing the game. But at the end of the day, it's more performance, and we hope that developers will use all that performance to make better looking games, and you will see Cyberpunk very soon, or actually already. One of the best looking games on the market today has used the technology in a great way.
And I think DLSS 3.5 actually makes Cyberpunk even more beautiful than native rendering. That's my belief, is that actually playing Cyberpunk using DLSS is more beautiful than native. And the reason for that, again, is because the AI is actually able to make smarter decisions about how to render the scene than what we knew how to do without AI. And I think that that's going to.
So this is the first part that I wanted to talk about. This guy pretty much just told every developer on the planet that, like, hey man, your guys' artistic vision, it sucks compared to my AI. My AI, it can do it better, can make it look better. Why do we even need developers anymore when we have AI? We can just have AI create video games. No more person to person artistic touch. This AI stuff's going to ruin video gaming, man. I really do think that this is going to ruin video gaming. And then if when you look at a game, okay, when you look at a game like Cyberpunk or like The Witcher, or some of these other games that these artists, they have to go through and find like the shadow for some, or they have to, bake in their lighting, or they have to use their artistic touch to build these experiences for us. And that's what they do. They build that. And then the DLSS, you flick that little switch on it, it just comes on, it washes all of that away, washes all of their artistic vision away, because they still got to build it for people that aren't going to have DLSS and all of that stuff. So it just washes all of that away. And this guy's pretty much telling these guys that, like, look, you guys suck, man. My AI is going to do it better. My AI is going to do this much better for you. And then you see everybody, even the developer here at CD Projekt Red, being like, yeah, I'm going to be out of the job soon. It sucks so bad.
Going to continue to develop.
That is super interesting. It's almost like a paradigm shift, and it goes a bit into that discussion about fake frames. But what are fake frames? Are all frames fake in a way because they have to be rendered in some way?
I would say that cyberpunk frames using DLSS, including frame generation, are much realer than traditional graphics frames. If you think about all of the graphics tricks, like all the different kinds of occlusion and shadows and fake reflections, screen space effects, and raster in general is just a bag of fakeness, right? So we get to throw that out and start doing path tracing and actually get.
Look at how happy this dude is when he's like, look, man, we get to throw out all of your work, all of your fakeness, and we get to do it with our realness that is AI generated, because AI is real now, and the human eye, what humans make, what these developers create, is fake. It's just right out the window. And it doesn't even matter anymore, because everything they build and everything they create is just fake. It's just garbage. AI is the future of your video games. AI is where it's at. We don't care what you developers make anymore. Just buy our GPUs so that we can completely destroy and dismantle everything that you make to prop up our freaking product, and then overcharge the customer for that, while we strip out your artistic vision to replace it with AI.
Real shadows and real reflections, and the only way that we do that is by synthesizing a lot of pixels with AI, because it would just be.
Not even gonna lie, the way this dude's talking makes me completely not like him. Like I don't like this guy. I don't like him, dude.
Far too computationally intensive to do rendering without tricks. So we're changing the kinds of tricks we're using, and I think at the end of the day we're getting more real pixels with DLSS than without.
It's weird to say that, Brian, but I agree with you, which is surprising. Yeah, it is that way. In the past, because you're comparing rasterizing rendering with path tracing, that's obviously true. When you just look at it's a very interesting perspective, actually, Brian. When you're saying what's the trade-off here, the trade-off is actually that on one hand you have a rasterizing approach, which is, like Brian said, it's a bunch of hacks. You have actually a silo rendering of individual layers that have no balancing between each other. It's just like you're stacking individual slices of reality to generate the frame. Every single layer is a hack. It's approximation of reality with screen space reflections, all that stuff. And you create real pixels like that, as opposed to have a way more accurate definition of reality with path tracing, which really is.
I don't think this dude understands, man. I felt so bad when I heard this developer say that like pretty much like all the work that they do and everything they put into this game just completely gets pushed aside for this AI stuff to come in and tell them what's better, to show them, like, look, you're too stupid to make this game look good, so AI is going to do it better for you. Man, dude, that just sucks so bad.
It's more streamlined, definition of the world with way more accurate lighting definition, reflection definition, actually occlusion definition, but you generate something in the middle. So it's very interesting perspective here. I 100% agree. Plus, the truth is that you could say that in the past you were actually trading off some quality by using a more performant solutions like DLSS. But with 3.5, it's really undisputably better looking image than without it DLSS. So there's no trade-off here. This is a tricky thing with this release. That's why I think there's so many people around me that actually give me feedback about the path tracing. Is that for the first time they see there's no trade-off here. They just get a better image overall, they get quicker image overall, and they get something that will be absolutely impossible without that. So yeah.
I just have gotten in the habit of calling native rendering fake frames. I just call native rendering fake frames.
This dude just says that all this artist work, everything that these artists do, and all the time and blood and sweat and tears that they put into creating these, the time away from their families, all the long months and all the years that they take to build these games for us, that they're just fake compared to their AI. This clown right here is laughing. This dude's laughing. I don't see why he's laughing. That there looks like a face of like, yeah, dude, my life is over. Everything is ruined. AI is gonna replace me. I'm not gonna be anywhere anymore. This dude right here, obviously, he's laughing, and this guy right here, man, yeah, dude, this kind of makes me anti DLSS. This kind of makes me anti AI upscaling for video games. So, after seeing this part of this, man, yeah,
Those fake babes. Okay, so we've been talking about
yeah, whatever. So, oh man, after watching that's pretty sad, man. That's to see these guys, to see that dude literally sit there and tell these guys, hey man, you guys are too stupid to create a good image quality. So my AI is gonna fix it for you and make it look better. I mean, dude, if I was that developer, I would have got up and walked out of that room. I'd have been like, whatever, dude, the hell with your DLSS garbage. That kind of makes me, I'm not even joking, man. This kind of makes me a little bit against like AI upscaling for video games, man. Like I want to see what these guys can create artistically. And they've been doing such a good job for so long, and now we got AI. AI is going to come in and replace all our favorite developers. It's going to come in and completely, dude. I know. This sounds like an AMD cope, but dude, if yeah, I'm officially against like AI upscaling, man. Like I am. So if you guys like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you guys later.